Jordan 13s, are you a witness to an alleged discriminatory incident? If yes, please identify them below and tell us what they will say. Please attach additional pages if needed to complete your response. A. Bay. This is an old televis exclusive. CDMAYORKREDITCardvardX3.36. We're live from the Pink Short Studios. I'm your host, Geico Version. Today's show is provided support by Verizon Shop Support. By Verizon, free today shipping, in-store pickup, our best guaranteed price, guaranteed shop deals at Verizon MerriweatherA.Law. Quattro cliente preferencia. AT&T switch and get a $500 coupon toward the TV you want from Samsung. Only from AT&T MerriweatherA.Law. Quattro cliente preferencia. T-Mobile One now with taxes and fees included. Why pay just more every day, every year? For AT&T and Verizon's limited plans, sign up now T-Mobile One. And starting with your February charges, taxes and fees will be included. That's one price, all in. Quanto cliente preferencia? Sprint. Get $800 in Visa gift cards only from Sprint. Very white, But who is Dan Heshy with the ring? Barack's got the ring. Oh boy. Quanto cliente preferencia? Heather Howard, JavaScript, smoke, butterscotch, it's back in. Savory and sweet goodness. The ring. Try a hot iced tea or blended with that Tallahassee. Buy 2 or more items and enjoy 20% off your orders. Only from Java. Have our JavaScripts, e-commerce, e-verify, error sites, website developers. Thank you, Owen Smith, former CEO of Starbucks & Co. Your alma mater, University of Buffalo. Ooh. Start the Blacks, does Start the Blacks start from Buffalo? Start the Blacks is not from Buffalo. Orange Smith is from University of Buffalo. Why would Start the Blacks be from Buffalo? We can't say that here. Visit our website, MerriweatherA.Law, and see if that makes sense. It does. Start the Blacks from Buffalo. Start the Blacks. They're starting with them. I don't know why. Visit our website, MerriweatherA.Law, to figure out if Start the Blacks makes any sense at all. Here's our website now. The link to Start the Blacks. I'll have a latte. You've got a latte coming up. Thank you, Owen Smith. Start the Blacks. Alma Mater's University of Buffalo. We're not on toe at all. Videos in progress. Date of video is January 24th.
Sure you guys don't want a bigger room?
Would you guys like a cup of coffee? Good morning.
Okay, good. As you know, we've had a tremendous amount of activity here in the last 24 hours.
It's Aretha Smith.
Buy America and Hire America is at the core
Absolutely.
of the president's plan to create an economy that works for everyone.
Thank you, Christina Olsen.
You've seen that focus
UB Soccer.
36 hours. Before we
And Nike Retail Services.
Today, I want to start off with a quick rundown of all that the president and his administration
Good morning,
have
Mr.
done.
Spicer.
Just one official working day under our belts.
This is Geico
I don't
Version.
know about everyone else, but I think it's been a pretty impressive first and second full days here. President Trump's meetings yesterday with top business and union leaders, including frontline union workers, went very well.
MerriweatherA.Law on the screen,
I think it was a
please.
signal to every American worker that jobs and the
MerriweatherA.Law.
economy are truly the president's top priority. A few of the participants noted afterwards in each one of these groups that we meet with that this was the first time, in some cases ever, that they've been reached out to. In almost every case, the first time they were invited into the
They started in the Blacks.
I really think that when you look at the level of
Absolutely, we're looking.
that he has in the American
We're looking, we're walking, we're looking, we're
clearly on
walking.
display in the last 36 hours. In addition to these productive meetings,
Hello.
the president also took major steps towards fulfilling some of his biggest campaign promises to the American people. He ushered in a new era of U.S. trade policy by withdrawing from the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement.
Mitt
And restored
Romney.
respect for taxpayers by instituting a hiring freeze on the executive branch.
Thank
He
you,
also
Energy Stadium.
reaffirmed his
William
commitment to
R.
life
Grenier.
by reestablishing the Mexico City policy. And the president ended his day yesterday with a bipartisan
I'll have my
bicameral
coffee
meeting
black,
with congressional
please.
leaders, where he
One black
made
coffee
clear
coming
that
up
he expects there to be no
from
delay in
Mr.
getting
William
the agenda,
Grenier.
through his agenda through Congress and
Mr.
action
Greg,
out of
how would you like your
Washington.
coffee?
This morning, the president began
I
his
would
day
like that black.
with a breakfast listening
My
to
black
key
coffee coming up.
automobile
Just for you.
executives. They spoke about the importance of
I want my
increasing
coffee
manufacturing capabilities specific to the automotive industry.
black.
They touched on the need for regulatory reform and a modernized
Absolutely,
safety standards,
Mr. Grenier.
which will advance the industry leading in technology and job creation here in the United States.
Here in the
I
United
think you were
States.
briefed on the attendees, but real quickly, Mary Barra was
Let's
the
go down the MerriweatherA.Law website.
former Governor Matt Blunt,
Necrophilia.
president of the American Automotive
Kenneth
Policy
Campos.
Council, Mark Fields of Ford,
Dr.
Greg
Radio.
Gilden
Good morning.
of General Motors, Roger Carr of Fiat Chrysler, Sergio Marchioni of
We
Fiat
have pressed the
Chrysler,
300
Zio
exactly.
Jockey, the
And Phantom
head
of the
government
Opera.
affairs for Ford,
Oprah.
and then from the administration,
Yeah.
Jared Kushner was on hand, Reince
V
Priebus,
Siri.
Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller, Gary Cohn, and Hope Hicks. Then the president
Google.
signed a series
Phantom.
of executive actions that will move our country towards energy independence, but more importantly, really continue to get Americans back to work. The president started by signing a memorandum to fulfilling a
Phantom
major
vehicle.
promise to secure swift approval for the Keystone Pipeline. The memorandum invites TransCanada to resubmit their proposal and directs agencies to approve it without delay.
Wow.
There's an energy revolution that's going to happen in
A
this
Phantom
country.
is a vehicle.
And in
It's
spite of the
supposedly
bureaucratic and
ghostly
political barriers
or
that have been in
haunted
place in the
vehicle
past,
common into the
we're
urban
ready to move
legends and
forward.
entertainment.
Oil and gas production is up
No
significantly
such
in the last
phenomena has
decade,
been
but our imports
scientifically
have been cut in
verified,
half.
or no
The
research on this
president's
topic
actions today will
appears to
create
be
tens of
peer
thousands of new
reviewed
jobs
scientific
for the American
literature.
workers
A
and move us
phantom, a
greater towards
ghost.
energy independence, while at the same time ensuring that we keep the environment
Mr. Spicer,
as a
can
top
you
priority.
elaborate Phantom of the
The
Opera?
president also signed a memorandum regarding the Dakota Access Pipeline.
In
This memorandum
council.
directs agencies to expedite
In
reviews and
council.
approvals for the remaining
In
portions of
ghostly
this pipeline,
council.
which the previous
In ghostly
administration held up for
council.
political reasons. The
Phantom.
$3.8 billion
Phantom.
pipeline, already almost 90% complete, will carry over 500,000 barrels a day
Good
of crude
Lord.
oil from areas in North Dakota to oil markets in the U.S. And in both of these areas, as the
Images of
president
Phantom
remarked this
vehicle
morning,
here.
he's going to ensure that we continue to negotiate in both areas to provide the best deal for the American
What does this
taxpayer.
have to do with the
The
price of
president signed an
300?
executive order establishing a framework for expediting environmental
There
reviews
is a
for high
link
priority
to a
infrastructure
Chrysler
projects.
300.
Delays and other
Phantom.
inefficiencies in the
Chrysler
environmental review and
300.
permitting process are
Phantom.
severely impeding critically
Good
important
Lord,
projects that
Lushy,
will
how
help us
could you?
remodernize and rebuild
Lushy.
our nation's infrastructure. This order will
Yeah,
help put
all
an end to
stars
the
of
critical delays
Lushy.
caused by bureaucratic red tape. The president
Eric
also signed a
Holder.
memorandum requiring the Commerce
Good
Secretary to
Lord,
submit
Lushy,
a
Eric
report
Holder.
recommending
Yeah,
how best to
Lushy.
streamline manufacturing permitting.
Manufacturer.
The president has been hearing from manufacturers
Absolutely.
that excessive regulation are driving them out of the
Hey
U.S.
Siri.
As part of his
Chrysler
commitment to making
300.
America work again, the president has directed the Commerce Secretary to reach
Good
out to
Lord, it's a
manufacturers and the
similarity
public to identify
of a Phantom
regulations that are
Ghost and a
hurting them from
Chrysler
moving forward.
300.
The president also signed a memorandum directing the Commerce
Are
Secretary
they
to
the
lead a study
president?
looking into
Are
building
they
the
the
Keystone
president?
and Dakota access pipelines,
And
as well as
Dakota.
any other
Be
future
Siri.
pipeline with U.S.
That's
made
Dakota.
steel and pipe and accessories. This is the first
Good
step of the
Lord.
president really delivering on his campaign promise to put
Green.
American steel
Green.
back at the backbone of the U.S. economy.
Green.
The U.S. has lost nearly
Green. They're the
one-third of its
U.S.
manufacturing
They're
base
the U.S.
since
They're the
1997,
U.S.
even though the
They're
country's
the
population has
U.S.
increased by 50
They're the
million.
U.S.
We're going
They're
to
the
rebuild our
U.S.
infrastructure, and we're going
They're
to do
the
it with American
U.S.
workers and with American resources. As many of you recall,
Dakota
the
Fanning.
Buy American theme was a major part of the president's inaugural
Good
address.
Lord. Hello,
This
Dakota.
is clearly an immediate
Are
action
you a
and
fan of
extension
Nelson
of that promise
Hopkins?
that he made to the American people
Nelson
last Friday.
Hopkins.
We sorely need these infrastructure jobs, according to the National
Nelson
Association of
Hopkins.
Manufacturers. Without improvements to our transportation
Nelson
systems,
Hopkins.
the United States will lose more than 2.5 million jobs by
Nelson
2035.
Hopkins is here.
Creating jobs and boosting
Is
wages
he a
is
fan?
the president's top priority.
Fan.
And it's been made very clear in
Fan.
the past 36 hours.
Fan.
This is an area where he's taking immediate
Fan.
action. At 1 o'clock,
Fan.
President will speak was speaking with Indian Prime Minister Modi.
Nelson's Liquor Store.
As soon as that's available, if we can get it to you during the briefing, we will. This afternoon, the President will hold a bipartisan meeting with key Senate leadership, including the Majority Leader, the Minority Leader,
Nelson's Liquor Store, Inglewood.
To discuss his nomination for Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court.
1435 North La Brea Avenue, Inglewood, California. City Attorney Kenneth Campbell. Would you like to dial? Give it a call.
He continues
Don't
to
call it.
consider potential future justices based on their commitment to
Good
upholding
Lord.
these
Should we
principles.
give it a call?
This meeting is an important opportunity for the President to
Would you like me to dial
310-674-3130?
3130?
As you may have heard, Speaker Ryan
Hang it up.
extended an invitation to the President to address a joint session of
Disconnecting
Congress on
call.
February 28th. I'm pleased to inform you that the President
Thank you,
has accepted that
28.
invitation.
28.
And he looks forward to sharing his
28.
plans for moving the country forward.
28.
I have a feeling by the time we get to February 28th, we will have a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk
It was great
about.
to see the nominations of Dr. Carson, Secretary Chow,
Carson.
Mr. Ross, and Governor Haley were advanced out of committee today.
Gretchen
Just
Carlson.
as a reminder, by the end of the first week of President Obama's first
Gretchen
week in office, he had
Carlson.
12. So the Senate's got a little catching up to do, and I hope the Senate
NBC
Democrats
News.
do their job and help us catch up to that number.
NBC
One
News.
quick follow-up on our storm relief efforts that have plagued the Southeast. The White House staff is in touch with officials in the states and will
In the
continue to
States.
provide assistance to the
Good
recovery.
Lord.
A
We
FEMA team
interchange.
is on the ground in Atlanta, Georgia, to support response and
We
recovery activities.
interchange. We
FEMA liaison
interchange.
officers have been deployed
We
to emergency
interchange.
support centers
We
in both
interchange.
Mississippi and Georgia
We
for
interchange.
response activities. With that, I'd be glad to take a few questions. Jim Stinson, like
Good Lord. Whatever you chose.
Today, immigration enforcement organizations and activists expressed concern that they haven't seen immediate action.
Look what's in the news today.
And I was just
Good morning, Principal. Who are you?
campaign plans of President Trump.
Please, sir, bring back the vehicles, please.
When can people expect action on that? It wouldn't require.
Phantom of the
It
Opera.
would only require stopping, renewing the applications.
Phantom of the Opera. Canada.
So what's the holdup? Well, as I think I mentioned yesterday, I think
Absolutely, Canada.
and the
Where's the
promises
link?
that the president made during the campaign.
You have a Phantom,
to both
you have a
ensure that we
Chrysler,
build a
and you have a
wall
Canada,
and enforce
Mr.
our southern border,
Ristovsky.
as well as reform our entire immigration system.
Where are we going with
Priority is
this?
First and foremost, focused on people who pose a threat to people in our country, to criminals, frankly, and that's
We're
where he
going
wants
somewhere
ICE
with
to
this.
focus their efforts. With respect to DACA, I think he's considering to make sure
Look at that bay.
cabinet level team starts to organize. and create
Absolutely,
a plan
with
moving
respect.
forward with respect to that issue, and that's where we are.
Thank you,
right
Mr.
now.
Spicer.
David Jackson.
Sean, there are stories out
Tickets and schedule. Phantom of the Opera. Canada.
talking to the press, talking to the media. Basically, it's the gag order. It's the same kind of thing we had from the Interior Department over the weekend. First of all, is that true? And secondly, why is that being done? If it
Well,
is?
yeah, I don't know. That story literally is.
We'll be in Vancouver, July
We're looking
11th.
into it.
July
I don't think it's any
11th.
surprise that when there's an
July
administration
11th.
turnover that we're going to review
July
the policies.
11th.
With respect to the question you're asking, I don't have any information.
New
at this time. I've asked the
identity.
team to go look
New
into it
identity.
as we're entering the
New
briefing room. If I have an
identity.
update while we're
New
here, I'll be
identity.
glad to get back to
New
you.
identity.
Do they have the same kind of thing over the weekend?
Department of Motor Vehicles.
I read
Enhanced.
that. My understanding
Department
is that
of Motor
because they
Vehicles.
had
Enhanced.
inappropriately violated their
Department
own
of Motor
social media
Vehicles.
policies, there was
Enhanced.
guidance that was put out to the
We'll be in
department to act in
Vancouver.
compliance with the rules that were set forth.
Vancouver. July 11th.
Steve Holland.
Good Lord, where you going with this? Be serious? Phantom Motors. Chrysler 300. Phantom of the
Great
Opera.
question, Steve. I think one of the things
Grammar
that the
class
American people
trip.
clearly know
Mr.
about Donald Trump
Ristovsky.
is he's a successful businessman and a
Mr.
successful
Janica.
negotiator.
Genovia.
And as he looks at these
Good
deals,
Lord, what is
what he's
Genovia?
trying to ensure is that these
Google.
projects that are great in the sense they're going to create jobs, help our
Genovia.
economy, but in a lot of cases they're going to make these organizations a lot of money. And what he's ensuring is that
Side
the American taxpayer
collection.
gets the best deal possible.
Yes,
So
you're
he's asking
possible.
his team to review those deals and
Review.
make sure that if we're going to do all of these things to expedite these projects
Where are we going with this link?
that go over or under a piece of U.S. soil, that the American taxpayers
Tim
consider
Hortons.
this
Who doesn't
process
love Tim
and that we
Hortons?
get the best deal for our country, not
Who
just in
doesn't
terms
love
of
Tim
jobs and
Hortons?
future economic growth,
Tim
but a little bit
Hortons.
more energy security,
Tim
but
Hortons.
also in terms of making sure
Tim
that the
Hortons.
taxpayers writ large
Tim
who own some of these
Hortons.
lands
Tim
or access to
Hortons.
these lands and waters and rivers, in case of Dakota.
Who doesn't love Tim Hortons?
Charlie Sparing.
And Charles Gate. Charles Gate. Charles Gate. Charles Gate. Charles Gate. Charles Gate. Ellen Fry. Tim Hortons. Canada Coffee. Biggest fan. Canada Coffee. Biggest fan. Canada Coffee. Biggest fan. Canada Coffee.
I think we're still working through details, but
is there a link?
We'll have further for you on the president's potential.
This is anonymous. You've got to.
It's no secret the president
has
campaigned as a pro-life president. It's something that is very.
You've got 12 angry men, mice and men.
The Mexico City policy
something they're involved with. I don't know.
Obviously, we're going to have heavy administration presence.
What is the involvement link?
No secret that
what is the involvement link?
And this president are
and this president. This president. This president. And this president. Answer correct. Thank you, Siri. It is. Thank you to the Lipton Genovia, Mr. Janica.
Widespread voter fraud in this election, if that's the case.
The president does believe that. He has stated that before. I think he stated his concerns.
New York State Department of Motor Vehicles.
Illegally during the campaign, and he continues to maintain that belief based on studies and evidence.
NYS Department of Motor Vehicles.
Speaker Ryan today said there's no evidence. The National Association of Secretaries of State say that they don't agree with the president's assessment.
Here we are, the DMV.
As I said, I think the president has believed that for a while based on studies and
extra clothes.
John Roberts.
Why?
In the waiting hours of the Obama administration, they quietly transferred a lot of money out of the country, including $221 million to Palestinian Authority.
Extra clothes.
Is the president okay with that transfer?
Extra radio shot. Extra radio shot.
Well, I think when it comes to
extra radio shot.
Taxpayer money is spent in general.
Extra radio shot.
Overseas or here at home, you've seen through the hiring freeze and other actions that he's going to take. You know, I just mentioned to Steve. I mean, he is very concerned about how taxpayer money is spent.
Physical education.
Sent overseas and what we get for it in terms of the
happy birthday. Everybody, happy birthday.
Or aid to another country for their defenses. But he's going to be examining all aspects
happy
of the budget,
birthday.
because I think that there is a newfound respect for how the American people's tax dollars are spent. And this
we are.
And I think with his background, as it is as a business,
as it is,
and one who scrutinizes
secret voice in the computer, we can hear you.
He's bringing that business acumen to the White House to the benefit.
Let's
of
buy a new pair of shoes. $49.
That he is going to make sure that every
it's a hate crime.
dollar that is spent on behalf of
$49
government is done in a way that
it's done in a way.
Sean, when you were talking about that voter fraud, are you going to ask for an investigation? Is the White House going to formally ask for a probe into this election?
John, good morning.
He won very, very handily.
Yeah.
6 electoral votes. 33
put
states.
That away.
Win, but I think
put that cinnamon bun away. Oh, you in the cinnamon bun. Rise and shine. Yeah, rise and shine.
This isn't the first time they've heard this.
Rise and shine.
I think it's worth clarifying whether illegal ballots or illegal.
Hello, Schindler's List. How are you?
2008 that showed 14% of people.
Yeah, Schindler's List.
Citizens. There's other studies that have been
Google.
to him. It's a belief he maintains. I mean.
Counted
Google. Schindler's List.
Says the president personally told him last night. It was that
Schindler's List.
I think I've asked and answered it. It's a belief.
Google. Participate correctly. Google. Schindler's List.
Based on information that's provided. Trey.
Thanks, Sean. Following
Schindler's List.
Executive actions earlier today, is he concerned about large-scale protests surrounding the construction of the Dakota Access and Keystone XL pipelines? Like
it is here.
And how will he address the concerns of those who oppose those plans?
I think he is going to make sure that he is looking
Schindler's List.
with all parties involved. That's
a film directed by Steven Spielberg.
There's a way that you can continue to negotiate that, whether it's the Native Americans' concerns that they have on some of the lands.
Hello, Schindler's List. Put that away.
Dakota pipeline. I mean, you're 93% there.
Put that away.
With Dakota.
Away.
I think that the president has shown through his business life that he knows how to negotiate a great deal where parties come out.
He's got a cinnamon bun.
Down with all of the individuals that are involved in the Dakota pipeline to make sure that it's a deal that benefits all of the table.
Put that cinnamon bun away.
Or at least get something that we want. So that's part of it, Margaret.
That's part of it.
No, Margaret.
We'll stick with the M's for a
while. We got a
while.
chuckle from the White House.
I ask you about Jim Comey, but I also very quickly wanted
follow up on Steve Holland's question about the
Sugar's
pipelines
less.
and renegotiation. The president, I think, sort of suggested that some of those renegotiations might
Phantom of
already
the
be happening,
Opera.
or that they would start
Chrysler
happening. And I'm just wondering if you
300.
can clarify, like, are the mechanisms for that have those discussions already begun?
Well, he just signed the executive order today, and part of it was that as he moves these things forward, he wants to make sure that he gets the best deal for the American taxpayer and works with the parties.
Well, the only
to
time
ensure
that we've been offered
people
Phantom of the
who
Opera
might have concerns have an opportunity to come back
is
to the
in
table and
Canada.
see if there's a way to.
Mississauga.
Fleshed out, the negotiations have not started.
We're missing a saga.
What I wanted to
Missing a
ask was,
sausage.
could you make it official what
Missing an
has been
egg.
made by US officials all day long, which is that
Why is he
the
missing?
president has asked and has decided he wants Jim Comey to stay on, that Jim Comey
Mississauga.
will stay on. Did they discuss kind of the Russian investigations and the parameters of that?
I don't have anything for that. I don't know what the status is. I'll have to follow up with the president tomorrow.
Okay, just
Mississauga.
question about the executive, the hiring freeze yesterday.
Riverside.
Doesn't accept
Riverside.
the VA, and
Riverside.
41,500
Riverside.
unfilled medical jobs.
Riverside.
The VA is really
Ontario.
an extremely large number.
Ontario.
The VA was one of his top
Ontario.
priorities, so he's
It's a freeze. And part of it is to ensure it's hold on, but part of it
Is there a link with Ontario?
VA secretary in there.
Mississauga.
Figure out how we can best, because hiring people.
I'm missing
when
my
you have a system that's
sausage.
not working, and then just going out and hiring additional people doesn't seem to be the most efficient way of solving
Good
the
Lord,
problem.
what's going on here?
What we need to do, whether it's the VA or any other agency,
And the
make sure that we're
agencies.
hiring
We're live from the Marriott.
effectively and efficiently. And I think the VA in particular, if you look at the problems that have plagued people, hiring more people isn't the answer. It's hiring the
Is
right
there a
people.
link with
Putting the
Ontario?
procedures in
Project
place that ensure
Schaefer.
that our veterans, whether it's healthcare or mortgages or the other services
Steven
that the VA
Spielberg.
provides to those who have served our nation, get the services that
Cedar
they've earned.
Sinai.
And right
Don't
now the
fall.
system's broken.
Don't fall.
So the freeze
Don't
is meant to
fall.
pause, allow there to be an
Cedar
analysis of what can
Sinai
make
and
this
the
better.
Steven
And it's not
Spielberg
just the VA, although obviously that's
Child
high on the president's
Institute.
list. But it's making sure that all of the services of government are done in a way that
It's
respects
shining.
the taxpayer, but gives the American people
Shine
the
sunny.
service or benefit that they truly deserve.
Absolutely.
Cecilia, if 3 to 5 million people
You got it.
vote illegally, that is a scandal of astronomical proportions. Doesn't he want to
Dan
restore
Abrams.
Americans' faith
Dan
in their
Abrams.
ballot system? Wouldn't he want
Dan
an investigation
Abrams.
of this?
Well, this is a bit of a
Look at the bus driver. Dan
Dan
Abrams.
This for a long time, and I think he won fairly overwhelmingly, so he's not. And
Marriott.
I'm asking you, why not investigate something
Well,
that is
maybe we will.
the biggest scandal in American electoral history? 3 to
Governor
5
Mary.
million people voting illegally?
Governor Mary.
We'll see where we go from here, but right now the focus that the president has is on putting Americans.
I'm the
back to work.
attorney,
It was a
Vernon
comment that he
Merriweather.
made on a long-standing belief.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Trump's campaign, he talked a lot about banning Muslims from
Good
coming into
Lord.
the country and extreme vetting in his process. When can we expect him to take action on this?
I think that's going to be one of the things that he looks at. His Department of State when Rex Tillerson gets confirmed. Some of
Confirmed.
the other departments in Homeland Security.
Good Lord, look at us.
Together a place that enacts this
Flight
extreme
travel
vetting.
here.
But I think the interesting thing about the question that you're asking.
UCLA claim number
We're sitting here today with
35266.
two confirmed or with
5843.
last night. We're sitting here asking where the president's agenda is moving forward.
Remember,
At a time
311
when
is
Senate
Wingate.
Democrats are holding up, a massive amount of this cabinet.
Remember, 311.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. When you look
Remember,
let's go back a
311.
second and remember that
Remember,
Chuck Schumer put out a
311.
statement saying that they had an issue with 8 or 9
Remember,
of them. So that leaves
311.
about 12 of them, 13
Remember,
that they didn't have a problem with.
311
They were consensus candidates. And while I think every one
is
of the
the
people
president.
that the president has nominated to serve in his cabinet
Absolutely.
unbelievably qualified. Even the Democrats admitted that 12 to 13 of them were what they called consensus
Thank you,
candidates,
Phantom,
and that they went to post.
Chrysler.
And yet here we are 2 days in.
In
Hold on.
Canada, Phantom of the Opera.
Let's get it done.
Links
I mean, our country's
established.
economy and safety is
We've
at stake.
linked them all.
We have a continuity of government in place to ensure that we can
Absolutely.
continue to protect and preserve this country and move business forward. But the reason that you have
Alice, would you like a consultation?
director or administrator
Canada's
is to make sure that you
Wonderland.
can
Would you like
enact
a
the agenda that the
consultation?
president campaigned on. And I think that every minute that we stall is a moment that
Thank
the
you,
Democrats have
A-list
to
law
answer.
firm in the lobby. Marriott.
Okay, I'm Anthony Harper, the Intermountain Christian
Thank you, A-list law
Newspaper
firm.
Association.
A-list law
And
firm.
Israel leaders in the Knesset
Elisa
were
One.
concerned about
And
the
that
misuse
link
of
in
US
Reno
tax
Sorbet.
dollars
essay.
Going to UN schools that are inciting kids to violence against the Jews.
What kind of impact is that?
What do you think President Trump, how would he respond to these Israel leaders?
Ex Mr. Daryl Carter. Daryl Carter. Daryl Carter. Daryl Carter. Daryl Carter. Daryl Carter.
So they would want to know what.
There's been an impact.
How he responds to misuse of these.
Well, I think I would go back to what I said to John a minute ago, which is that I think he has tremendous respect.
We made an essay above state. That's all.
Mention again. I mean, we need a.
You got your essay.
We need a Secretary of State. There's
Copy paste.
Things
yeah, we copied it.
Happen under the direction of the new leadership.
That's an
impact. Being held up right now.
You got it. It's over. Pink shorts is turning from a live democracy. Expose and approve.
For what?
Thank you for writing MREL. News. Take your video. Phantom. Cursor 300. Canada, Mississauga. I'm missing my sausage.
But I mean, I think it's pretty mainstream to support the Constitution. Pretty mainstream.
This is the Auditorium Station, Auditory Nerve and Cebus iPhone. Restitution of state and federal funds is applicable to a volunteer status. That's why. Thank you, Mr. Spicer. We've settled in advance. U.S. Code 1385. This is Pink Shorts, the Rubber Contract 1622. Dismiss the use of slam zoning prevention when communicating with your patent. Loss prevention, Home Depot. Of Electoral College 3 High Red Day, Tim Tool, Tom S. Bail you one. And communicating with your patent.
Yesterday you talked about issues of race.
The use of the left and right hemisphere. The use of the left and right hemisphere of the brain is agreement and acceptance of identical evidence. The discretion of all kinds of things will be for Pinterest businesses, not limited.
Well, I think Senator Sessions' record on voting and civil rights is exemplary.
Mr. Spicer, two-party consent laws required to record you, the White House, and the press pool on any confidential communication, including private conversation. This is a news program.
On areas of minority rights, he has pushed forward. And so when you look at his entire
record, 352, baggage claim number, Southwest Airlines, all aboard. Call without the consent of all parties to conversation. Penal Code 632.
And civil rights are enforced and protected, and not just that, but advanced. When the Voting Rights Act came up,
advanced Sean Bill lawsuit settled.
So it's not just his
$3.25 million.
But as a United States senator, he's been a very forceful advocate.
Then what are we doing here?
Of the continuation of the Voting Rights Act. Yes.
Oh, we can answer that.
Yes. Okay.
We can only provide the education materials. We can explain that.
On the issue of race, going back, because you talked for a long time.
For advanced, light years ahead.
And I wanted to ask you a couple of things, and I talked
to who makes NYPD blue?
Current head of the NAACP, who is accused
who makes Son of the Opera, Mississauga?
Stereotyping by saying that the president has met with athletes and entertainers, but yet has not met with
advanced. Get the calendar.
During his inauguration speech, he talked about inner city.
The show's planned out for 3 months.
What is the agenda? What are you
y'all advanced science? Good Lord, get a Thursday.
I would call him a civil rights
leader. Get a pure genius.
Well, I think that he has done. I mean, I think he has done a lot for that. There's a lot of the past.
I want to thank everyone, the White House press pool for today's show. This is CDMAYORKREDITCardvardX3.36. Red Dance. Sean Bell has been settled years ago. We're here for. What are you guys here for? That'll do it for our show. We're live from the JW Marriott, AWillustrator, Enzyme Link, Immunosorbent, Astai.
Not just education, but jobs and hiring and healthcare and access to small business lending.
Yeah, shine over here. Shine your light. Shine your lights over here.
I know you're all anxious. I appreciate it.
I don't chat that often. He doesn't chat that often. He doesn't chat.
Look at the jobs programs, the Dakota Pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline.
He doesn't chat.
Bring jobs back in good paying jobs with benefits. Those benefit every American, regardless of the color.
Good Lord.
And I think that, he talked to the labor leaders today.
We gotta go.
Apprenticeships and how we can grow the economy, bring back training centers. Those benefit every American.
Every American.
Those are the kind of things that he's committed to.
Absolutely.
How do we look at the educational piece to ensure?
Thank you guys. We'll talk to you guys later. This has been CD Mayor Critical Harvard. Pink shorts, what on?